Talking about the insurance exam, ask me your questions about the insurance exam, how to pass it, what to do. And this is backwards. I didn't know which one was going to be right. So anyways, ask me about the insurance exam. I see that's correct. Where are you going to go? Insuranceexamcourse.com to get all the information you need. But anyways, feel free to ask your questions. I need to figure this out. This is like, I haven't been live on TikTok, on YouTube in a while. So I've never done it on my phone either. So I need to figure out where are my chats, if they're here. So I need to figure this out. And, oh no, so, okay. I think I went on mute. Why would they even have that? Oh, that's neat. Ooh, that's cool, y'all. Nope. We're just going to leave it normal because that's not what we're looking for. I want to know where are the chats. Hi there. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and say hi so I can see where the chats come out. Okay, so I guess they're just going to come out in the bottom. So my name is Vienna. I help people pass their insurance exam. I am the insurance exam teacher. So feel free to ask me whatever questions you have about the insurance exam. I'll start off by letting you know what's in my course. So I have 2 course options, and what's in it is basically this. So for 60 days, you would be able to study for your insurance exam. Most courses only give 30 days, then you have to pay for an extension if you want more time. I tell people they pass in 2 weeks, they study for 2 weeks, they're going to get me on live on Zoom, not 1, but 2 days a week. And we also have another tutor, her name is Liz. She's awesome. She trains people how to think. There's a video featuring her, so feel free to check that out. And she basically teaches us how to think in order to memorize, really internalize, how to really study for any given thing we want to study, we want to learn, which is what I help people as well. My strategies, my tips, my routines help you study and learn, memorize, actually internalize whatever it is you're trying to study. All right. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn that off just in case it's too loud. But anyways, that is what we're doing. We offer all these things in the course. So Wednesdays and Saturdays, we have Zoom classes. Saturdays, it's 9 a.m. to 12 Central. Wednesdays, it's 6 to 7:30 Central time as well. So depending on where you're at, you're more than welcome. I help people and have helped people pretty much all across the U.S. pass their insurance exam, get their health license, their life insurance license, and we have more coming. So we have a course. You'll get your platform from whenever you decide to join right here, insuranceexamcourse.com. You will be able to log into your course, watch the videos, watch the prior classes, do the study quizzes and everything else to get you the information that you need to actually pass the insurance exam on your first try. If you've already studied with other programs, if you've already done other things, totally fine. I will make you pass your next try. Hey, Carlos, welcome. How are you? Welcome. Insurance is a scam. Why do you say that, Jacob? Tell me. How are y'all tonight? Hi, guys. Awesome. Now I see where the chat is. Thank y'all for commenting and saying something so that I can see where it's at. I've never gone live on my phone. But anyways, guys, yes, I'm talking about my insurance class and what you get in the course. So the strategies, the study strategies, the tips, all of those things to help you pass your test and get your license. They fight tooth and nail to not cover what they insure. So there are sometimes situations where that may happen, but no, typically when it comes to this is the policy, this is what's going to be covered, what's not going to be covered, all of that, they will pay. So that is one of the guarantees that is on the insurance exam. But now there are exclusions sometimes. So if an exclusion applies, and those are already built into the policies, if the customer, let's say if they pass away and there's an exclusion that does apply in that given situation, then legally the insurance company has a way to legally not pay that. But again, those are not typically the cases. All right, let's talk about it for your insurance exam. What are some of those exclusions out there? or they try to not pay and never cover what they should be covered. All I can tell you is that, again, we're going over some of those exclusions. Yeah, not to pay, I mean. No, I understood you, Jacob, what you meant, and I'm sorry you've had those experiences. And again, sometimes an exclusion may apply. Legally, the insurance companies have the rights to do that. So let's talk about some of the exclusions, guys. That would be under your provisions, your riders, and the exclusion section of the exam. Okay, so guys, some of the, hey guys, welcome, how are you? Exclusions are never ending. So let's talk about them. So one exclusion that does exist is the aviation waiver. If somebody is a pilot, a stewardess, an air marshal, somebody who works on an airplane while it's meant to be up in the air, then that would be an exclusion, right? They are automatically going to be denied for coverage. That's what that means. Hey guys. Hey, Gorilla GT, welcome. So those individuals who work on an airplane, they are going to automatically be denied for coverage. We have an aviation waiver. We're waiving the right? That's what a waiver means. You waive the right, or you waive something. So those individuals are going to go ahead and sign that waiver. Then they will be allowed to sign up for their insurance coverage. They'll be given their coverage. And the only situation in which their policy would not pay is if they were to pass away during the airplane when they're on the clock. If they're going somewhere, coming back, whatever, and they're a passenger, then it does pay. All right, guys? So that's one exclusion. Another one, an illegal activities exclusion. If somebody passes away while they're doing an illegal activity, the company legally has the ability to say, hey, this was the circumstance of death, so we're not going to pay. All right, so exclusions do exist. Now, an exclusion, literally when you're studying for your insurance exam, very literal, straight to the point. That is how I teach my class. That is how I tell people. And again, guys, you can check it out, insuranceexamcourse.com. Check out the description, all of that. But I want you to study. I want you to read everything and think about everything very, very straight to the point. Exclusion, we are subtracting some kind of coverage. There is a death that occurs. This is the circumstance. We are excluding this circumstance of death from payment of that benefit. Okay, straight to the point. Provisions on a policy give you the details of the policy. If X is the circumstance, Y is going to be what's going to happen. And it's a legal process. It's already been accepted and it's already in the contract. Okay. So that is what your provisions are in a nutshell. They are your details. Now we have riders. Riders are going to add coverage. Anytime we have a rider, we can add it to either a term policy or a whole life policy. It doesn't matter what type of policy you have, but they have riders that we can go in and we can add. So when we're adding a rider, it's going to add coverage. So that is what I want you to think. Exclusions subtract coverage, riders add coverage, and your provisions are going to be the details to what's going on. So that is one thing to kind of keep in mind for your insurance exam. And that's how I break everything down, guys, in my class, how I help people pass the test. Okay. Fire insurance, just sign here and that fire won't cover that. I don't know about that. I do not deal with fire insurance, but hey, welcome guys, welcome. Hi there. Hi Big M, how are you? Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, it says Earn. How are you? Tell me, where are you from, guys? Snooki put the wine down sauce. That's funny. Not the first one to comment or to say that I look like her. I really need to go see that show. I never really saw it. I've seen pictures, videos here and there. I don't think I look like her, but I guess if you say so. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Do you think I look like Snooki? That's hilarious. But anyways, guys, I help people pass the insurance exam. So ask me about your insurance exams. Ask me about the questions that come out on the test. Ask me about my course. I do 2 live sessions a week, Wednesday evening, Saturday morning. If you're interested in getting your insurance license, if you need to pass your test, I don't care what company you work with. I don't care what part of the country you're in. I can help you study and pass your insurance exam in 2 weeks, guys. Insuranceexamcourse.com. And I know this one's backwards. I wasn't sure, given this screen, which one would work right. So I went ahead and did this, where it's at. See, I have several of these. I did this just to test it out, and it turns out this is the correct one. So I need to go in and do on Canva, for those of you who are curious. I went on Canva, I typed up what I wanted it to say, and then I just did an image of it. So copy, paste the image, and then I reversed it. So if you were able to follow that, awesome. If not, go ahead and replay this clip. But anyways, yes. All right, guys. Ask me about the insurance exam. If you're studying for your insurance exam, ask me questions. I will cover topics. I will cover as much as I can on here to help you pass the test. I'm glad my insurance agent wasn't as good looking as you. I've bought everything. Oh, well, then you need to book an appointment with me if you would have bought everything that they sold. I sell quite a few things. Go ahead and book an appointment up there in the link. Drop a comment. Just kidding. But thank you. That's sweet. But yeah, no, so I hope you do have a good experience with your insurance agent. I hope they're able to help you and all that. And if you do have questions or want to review, I am an agent as well, but I mostly help people pass their insurance exam. So I'm a tutor for their exam for anybody who's interested in becoming an insurance agent. But I do take clients here and there as well. But this right here is what I like to do and what I've done. Today I had somebody call me. She passed the test. It was actually in Spanish. She was from Florida, and she was so stressed out. She was so worried about passing it or not. And finally, she actually canceled it 3 times. And I kept telling her, you are ready to go take this test. We've tutored a couple times. I was like, don't cancel it anymore. Don't freak out. Go take it. She went, she took it finally, and she passed it. So super excited and happy for her. But guys, she was so nervous and worried. She canceled her test 3 different times until finally she went and she did it. She didn't even tell me she was going to do it today. She just texted me at like 7:30 tonight. She goes, hey, I finally passed. And I was like, yes, amazing. So that was awesome. All right. So yes, guys, love that. I love helping people pass the test. And I do have a course. I've got 2 course options. Let me show y'all what it is that we have. All right, so for 60 days, a lot of the programs give 30 days. I give 60. You have an online platform, your password, your personal program, all of that, where you get to study. You see videos of me recording and talking about the topics. I break everything down super simple and easy to understand. Every concept, every idea, every topic, you've got it in there. You can study whenever you want. Wednesday nights from 6 to 7:30, Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 12 Central, I am on a live class, and you get to jump on a Zoom with me. It's a group session, and we study and we tutor and we talk about whatever questions everybody's got, what's going on, topics, updates for the test, things like that. And then we go into the question breakdowns and all that. And if you're interested, I do have videos on here where I've posted different parts of my PDFs. Hey there, welcome. How are you? Control Me. Love the name. Very creative and clever. But I talk about that, guys. You get your platform, you study for your insurance exam, and then you get the strategies that you need to study. You get all of the strategies to actually study. And these strategies work with whatever topic. I am in Texas, Control Me, so that's awesome. I just want to say your name. Control Me. Control Me. I'm in Texas. Where are you from? Let me know, guys. Where are y'all from? Drop it in the comments. I don't know what they do on YouTube. I was going to say TikTok. I don't know. So I don't know if they give hearts or little thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up. In India. Okay, wow. Well, hello from Texas. Nice to have you on my live. Very awesome. Have you ever been to the US? Let me know. But all right, guys. So I got this course. You can log in, all that. We will meet Saturday mornings, Wednesday nights, so twice a week for the whole 60 days. Then we do the study strategy, so you can sit down, study, learn the way that you learn, and then you're going to go into the actual exam. I have actual tips and procedures for you to do in the study session, in the testing session, I mean, whether you're taking it at home or in the actual place, like in the actual, I can't think, I'm blanking out on the word, but in the actual study room. Administration, no. Anyways, the place where you go to take the test with the computer. I can't think of the word right now. I don't know. It's late. It's like 1 a.m. But anyways, where you actually go take the test. What can you do to make it a smooth process, to make it better for you, to make it be an easier exam for you? I tell you what to do in the class. Yes, you can. You can take the insurance. What is this about? So I help people pass their insurance exams. My name is Diana Hinojosa. I am the insurance exam teacher. I tutor people either one-on-one or I tutor them also with my course options. And this is where you can find it, insuranceexamcourse.com. Find some information. I am in the US, but you can definitely check it out. I'm sure that you can take your test. You can go ahead and pass it and whatnot in India, where you're from. Just make sure you look at the laws, the rules, all of that. And then maybe, hopefully, my videos on here. Make sure you follow me, but maybe and hopefully your videos will, my videos will be helpful for you as well as far as studying for your test. But yes, definitely, I'm sure that you could if you're interested in that. Excuse me. But yeah, what time is it for you right now? So for me right now, it's about 1 a.m. Nice to meet you as well. What is your name? I like your username, but what's like your actual name? I like it. It says control me, y'all. But yes, that is what I do. 10:45 in the morning. Okay, awesome. That is crazy. I would have imagined that it was more of a drastic time. Like it's about a 10-hour. I guess that's a good chunk of time. It's about a 10-hour difference. I don't know why I was thinking it would be like. Anyways, I guess never mind, y'all. I was about to say something really not good. But whatever. But that's awesome. So what do you do out there? Tell me about a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do out there in India where you're at? And guys, if y'all have any questions, there's someone else in here. Go ahead and drop some questions, drop some comments into the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you and to just kind of give you a little bit of information about becoming an insurance agent, learning how to pass that exam, learning what you need to do in your state to pass that exam. I can definitely help you. Feel free to ask your questions down below. I also do one-on-one tutoring sessions where you can book me for 1 hour. We will go ahead and talk about whatever questions you have for your insurance exam. So any topics that you feel are giving you a hard time, or you're just needing maybe the study tips, the strategies, I can help you with that. I also have questions, practice questions. I break them down super simple to understand. I break them down very easily. Like you'll have to question the scenario. It'll be your ABCD. They're all multiple choice, by the way. They're about 150 questions. And then from there, when you're going to sit down and take the test, it gives you a scenario-based question. You need to pick the best one in order to get the correct one, right? And I teach you how to look for that. I will teach you, like, number one, what is the question really asking for? What do you really need to look for within that question? Then we're going to look at the answer options, A, B, C, D. And sometimes the difference is literally only the one given word, but the sentences are identical. Sometimes they're in the present tense, sometimes they're in the future tense. And that difference really could get you the wrong or the right answer. It just depends. How did they word the question? I teach you what to look for, how to pay attention to what you need to pay attention to get you your passing grade. I am not looking for people to come out here and get hundreds. I just need you to get your passing score, whatever that is in your state. And I'm happy because that means you passed it. You are going to go take your license, get your license in about a week or two once the background check clears, right? By the way, guys, fingerprints. Get your fingerprints done early. Put them in before you actually start studying. That is a tip and something that so many people don't freaking do until after they go and they pass their test. And then what happens is that they are going to be, what happens is that they're going to be like, yeah, I passed my test. Oh, now I got to go get my fingerprints. And now it's going to take 3 weeks for the state to clear. When I took my test, I hadn't really known about it because my manager really kind of was like, oh, here's a program, go study and whatever. And that's what they would tell us, like, go study, go do the practice questions, blah, blah, pass the test. And then once they passed the test, the next step was go get your fingerprints. Well, I was in Texas. Texas took forever to actually clear my fingerprints. Texas, the biggest state in the US, they took 4 weeks to give me my license after I passed my test. Super annoying. But make sure that you take your fingerprints before you take your test. The only state I'm going to say do not do this in is Alabama, because Alabama, they only last 30 days on record. So let's say that you decide today in Alabama, it's the 15th of the month, right? I'm going to go take my test. First thing you do is go take your fingerprints. They're only going to be good until the 15th or the 14th of the following month, which is a good amount of time to study. Totally doable. If you study, get them done. I say 2 weeks is the best time frame, but sometimes people need a little bit more time. And if that's you, given your schedule, your commitments, all that, or you just think I'm not going to be able to take it in 1 month, then I need you, if you're in Alabama, to wait on the fingerprints. Maybe the day before the test, a week before the test. Because let's say that worst case scenario, you take them, they expire in 30 days because you didn't take the test or you didn't pass the test, then you got to go take them again. So Alabama people are the only group of people that I tell wait to get your fingerprints until about a week before the test, or until maybe even after the test. Everybody else, go get it before. They're good for 7 years. Alabama, y'all just got to kind of go with those steps. But that's one thing to kind of get out of the way. So you get your fingerprints, you pass your background check, they give you the license, you pay your licensing fee with the state, whatever that may be, and then you're good. You're an insured licensed agent. And I do help people get started, guys. I used to actually be a teacher when I started, so I was a full-time teacher, and at first it was just going to be like some part-time money, right? I was like, cool, I can make $500 in like a weekend or whatever, and like not even with one client, that's actually the typical pay. So if you sit down with somebody 3 to 4 hours, and that's a long time, but in the beginning you really probably will spend about that long with the client, you're still going to get $500 to $800 payment. Typically we say 500 to lowball it, because we in my former office, I say we, but what I mean is, like, with my former office, we like under promise over deliver type of a thing. And that's kind of what we would tell people. So then when they did their first deal and it ended up being an $850 payday, then they were super excited and super happy about that. But is it a good side hustle? Absolutely. Is selling insurance a good full-time job? Absolutely. I was able to quit teaching. Now I'm a full-time insurance agent and I love it. I work mostly with teachers because that is the group that I decided to like focus on and to really help, because I was a teacher. So I was a full-time school teacher, and then I stopped doing that and I started doing this little by little, right? This was a side hustle, turned it into my full-time income. I taught high school, then I taught middle school as well. So you work in a corporate company in Bangalore. Okay, awesome. I think I might have chopped up the name of the town or the city, but Bangalore. Okay, awesome. That is really cool. So then maybe you kind of run into insurance situations and things like that every now and then. Very cool. But yes, so I help people, and I am in Texas, so I help people in the US, doesn't matter what state they're in, to get their insurance licenses. Like I said, I've got a course, insuranceexamcourse.com. That's the website to go check it out, to go sign up. So if you're ready to get started, I don't care what company you're with. I'm not recruiting y'all. I am simply going to help you pass your test. If you already have a company that you work with, awesome. I've worked with people in pretty much any and every given insurance company out there. So I've met people from pretty much all of them. I know a little bit about each of them. So even if you have an insurance company question, like a general question about them, and I can answer them, I can definitely help you, kind of guide you if you're still on the fence and you're not sure what company to pick yet or what type of company to pick yet, then I can definitely help you and give you some information. Like a few days ago, I had somebody reach out. He really doesn't know what route he wants to go as far as being with an insurance company that runs it like an MLM structure, or does he want to be completely and totally, truly independent? Because here's one thing, and one way that I guess these insurance companies get agents. they're going to say you're independent. You work for yourself. Absolutely, y'all are independent. Even if you work for a company where you have like a 1099, right? Technically, you're independent. You're commission based. That's what that means. But the company still has you like in their structure. Let me explain a bit about how that works. That right there, guys, let me talk to you. And this is something that comes up on the insurance exam itself. So you have this company, and it is a structure that the companies sell or that use to sell their policies. So you've got the middleman. This is going to be the IMO. This is going to be the agent. And then here we're just going to say carrier 1, carrier 2, all the way to carrier, let's say 30. So this is how they work with the MLM type companies, right? Most IMOs work like this. An IMO, that's basically the company you're going to work with, the company you're going to work for, that you represent. So let's say this is Primerica, FFL, smaller IMOs as well, but those are some of the bigger ones that are out there. Experior. What other type of companies? There's a ton of them. GFI, all of those, right? That would be your IMO. When an agent signs up, they are signing up to be an agent of Experior, Primerica, FFL, put whatever company you want to put in there. And then that company has different contracts with each of these insurance carriers. That may be Mutual of Omaha, that's NLG, that's going to be Foresters, whatever. But they've got, let's say, 30 of them. So that agent can now go, once they're an agent of this company, and they got their license. So I already helped them. And if you're in this process, you need that help passing the test, follow me, DM me, contact me, and I will help you. So when you are contracted, then you can say, okay, IMO, I want to work with company 1 and company 2, but I don't necessarily want to work with the rest of them, but I'm good for now with this one. If eventually down the road you want to work with company 4 and 5, awesome. Then you become a broker. An insurance broker is a person who, and again, vocabulary for your insurance exam, a broker is going to be somebody who does that, right? And this is how I break it down. B, company A plus company B plus company C. But anyways, a broker is an insurance agent who works for a lot of different insurance companies, or maybe even just 2. So they have company A and they have company B. So if you sell for 2 or more companies, you are a broker. And if you sell for just a company, you are a agent, right? Agent plus broker. So that's one way I break it down for that. So the difference between an agent and a broker, an agent represents a company, a broker represents company A and B, right? So anyways, a little bit of more vocabulary for your insurance exam. So going back to this company structure, this company, this IMO, will have contracts with a lot of companies. When you sell something for them, they take a cut, the insurance company pays them, they pay you, and that's essentially it. But then you are then able to go and recruit different people if you want to, regardless of what company. If you don't want to do that step and you don't want to recruit people, you don't want to work with people, train people, awesome, then you don't have to. You can just do that and be in that structure. Now, people who are truly independent, they decided to say, I don't want an IMO. I don't want that middleman company. I don't want to work for Primerica, FFL, GFI. What's the other one? Transamerica. Anyways, I can't remember, but the one that's like all about Transamerica or owned by Transamerica or whatever. So anyways, they said, I don't want this company. I just want to call Mutual of Omaha and sign a contract straight with Mutual of Omaha. Then I want to, maybe they're an agent, right, of Mutual of Omaha. Then maybe later on down the road, 2 years later, I'm just going to call National Life Group and sign up with National Life Group. Those are the agents who are truly independent, right? They've basically erased the middleman. That's a bit nicer, right? Maybe. They've erased the middleman. No IMO company. They are having direct contracts with Mutual of Omaha, direct contract with National Life Group, a direct contract with 5 other companies, 2 other companies, whatever they want to do, right? Because they are independent. That is the American agency system. So for your test, you see American agency system. It is one of the structures that an insurance company has. One of the options they have as to how they will sell their insurance companies, their insurance products. Sorry. All the companies can participate in one structure, two structures, three structures. That's about it. They can participate in all three if they'd like, or they can participate in one and focus or whatever. But that's essentially how it works. So for your exam, recapping, you have 4 different structures of how an insurance company can choose to distribute their products to the company. Again, very literal, right? So if you like what I'm talking about, how I'm breaking it down, you're going to love it when you see it broken down. So go down to the description, graph the PDF where I actually break it all down, or better yet, go to my website, insuranceexamcourse.com, sign up for my class, and then we will meet on Wednesdays and Saturdays, every Wednesday, Saturday, until you pass your test and I can show you and tutor you. Plus, you'll get my videos that are already recorded. You'll get the PDFs. You'll get everything so I can teach you how to pass the insurance exam. All right? So anyways, that's a little bit of vocabulary. That's one of the structures. Or you would have the other one that I just talked about, where you've got your IMO in the middle, you've got that middleman, and, and then you decide. So that's one way that they tend to get new agents. Yeah, you're going to be independent. You're truly going to be independent. Then it's not really an independent situation, unless they're doing this and they're calling each of those carriers individually, signing individual contracts. And if I have a customer, client one that I signed them up with company one, then I'm going to call their 800 number for support. If I have a customer that I then signed up for the second company, I'm going to call their 800 number for support. This company is going to pay me for that given customer. This company is going to pay me for that given contract. And that is, again, you're working with 3 different companies. You're a broker, because brokers work for company A and company B, maybe even more, but B broker, more than one company. A agent, A company. All right. Simple and easy ways to think about it, to break it down, so that when you go and study for your exam, you can remember them. Easily remember all of that given information. So guys, I see like 2 of y'all on here right now. Thank you all for being on with me. Ask me questions about the test. Are you studying? Are you thinking about being an insurance agent? Are you all already agents? Drop that information down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your questions are. I'm gonna try to like make this prettier, because yeah, I kind of made a mess of all this right here. But anyways, like I said, ask your questions. So it was broker, company A plus company B, right? And then A agent, A company. Also kind of miswrote that, but whatever. A company, A agent. Let's see, y'all. There we go. A little bit better, a little bit nicer. Notes right there. Company right there. So ask me questions, guys. What questions do y'all have for me? Do you want to become an insurance agent? That's my question for you. Do you need to pass your insurance exam? That's my question for you. If so, are you studying? What information do you need? Are you trying to, what is the word? I'm trying to think. Basically, I want y'all to ask me questions. Drop them in the comments. And if you're rewatching this, guys, drop them down into the chat. I will come in. I will answer questions on there. I will connect with you. Look for my links. Look for my videos. Look for my PDFs. I have a lot of resources linked down below to help you pass the life and health insurance exam. So ask me whatever questions you want to ask me right now. I will wait. And while I'm waiting, y'all, I will tell you, I quit teaching because I was doing insurance. And hold on, y'all. I don't see where it's at, but give me a minute. Okay. I just dropped my marker, the top for my marker. So when I was teaching, I was doing insurance at first, literally every other Saturday. So 2 days, just 2 days a week because I was a full-time teacher. I had a full schedule. I didn't want to do a whole lot of extra stuff because I was already extra tired from teaching all week. And if you're a teacher and you're out here and you want an opportunity to get out of teaching or just a little bit of extra money, follow me, DM me. I can totally help you get started in this. I can help you pass your tests, get you contracted, get you the carriers, all of that stuff. So let me know. Right? So I was doing this part-time. Eventually, at some point, I said, you know what? I'm ready. I'm going to quit. I had a situation where I had a student yell at me, curse me out, throw a desk at me twice, and record me. She put me up on a TikTok live. She was on TikTok live in the middle of my class. And I walked in, another student came up to me, right? Miss, I'm very uncomfortable. She's recording us. She's way in the back in the opposite side of the room. Of course, that's where they're going to sit if they're going to do that, as far away from the teacher as possible. I go up to her, are you recording? Yeah, you fucking bitch, blah, blah, blah. And she curses me out. She yells at me, whatever. 8th grader, by the way. Puts the phone right here in front of the other kids in the middle of class. What the fuck are you going to do about it? So I looked at her, I grabbed the phone because she literally had it right here. I didn't say anything. And I grabbed it, walked over to my closet. It's still on live. It's still recording whatever's going on. I didn't touch any buttons. I didn't do anything to it. Literally just grabbed it, put it in the closet, locked it up. While I'm walking to the closet, she turns into my shadow, yells at me. Her face is right here. And I'm trying to move away and I'm walking, whatever. She's tracking every step, yells at me, then proceeds to slam the door, curse me out some more, throw the desks at me, 2 desks, 2 separate times, storms out of the room. I forgot to lock the door. I was dumb, didn't think about it, whatever. And then as I'm filling out the referral, she comes back in, yells up a storm, whatever, one more time, throws the desk at me again. That was the second time. And then she stormed out again. At that point, I told a student, somebody locked the door, called the security, like she's out there throwing a fit. All of that. She goes to the principal's office, and I'd already had a situation similar to this. So then the principal calls me. Well, first the secretary called me twice. You need to give her her phone back. I'm not doing that until I talk to mom or dad or a guardian during my conference or at lunchtime. They weren't happy. Secretary called me again. Same thing, same conversation. I'm not doing that. Called me a third time. I'm not doing that. I'm not even done filling out the referral, which was online at the time, only 15 questions. So that should tell you about how long that took, right? So anyways, then the principal calls me, says, oh, she says you picked up her phone. Or, she says you picked up her phone. Need you to give it back to her. No, sir, we had this conversation on Friday. This was now this was like Tuesday or Wednesday. So 3-4 days before, a couple days before, we had the same situation with a different student. Anyways, I got permission to keep the phones, lock them up, all of that. So I put it up. It's locked at that given moment. Principal calls me. I need you to give her the phone back. I'm not doing that. I'm going to talk to mom or dad. She can come grab it for me at the end of the school day, the last couple minutes. Then hung up the phone, finished typing the referral. I wasn't even done typing the referral when I got 4 phone calls interrupting me, telling me to give her her phone back. Principal's secretary, then the principal himself. And then a few minutes later, there's a knock on the door because, again, remember, I locked it because I wasn't sure if the student was going to try to come back into the room or not, whatever. We open it. It's the principal with the student walking right behind him. Told me, didn't ask me, didn't say anything, complete directive, give me the phone. Now, literally, he basically made it clear I could not say no. I could not do anything but give him the phone. So I go to the closet where I had locked it up. I hand it to him, literally hand it to him. He turns around. Here you go, mija. Hands it to the student in front of the same students it had happened on. This all happened in a matter of 10, maybe 15 minutes, and said, okay, mija, you can have a seat. I said, no, sir. You can at the very least, because obviously nothing was going to happen for her cursing me out, throwing desks at me, yelling at me, recording the students and myself without permission. Nothing was going to happen to her as far as any kind of disciplinary situation. I said, you can at the very least take her out of my classroom for the next 20 minutes for the rest of this classroom. And that's really when I decided. I was already doing insurance part-time. I'd already had my license. I'm done teaching the rest of this year. I'm just going to really dedicate it to getting my insurance off the ground and doing what I have to quit this job where they obviously don't give a shit, because that's exactly how I felt. And it sucks that I felt that way. I'd been teaching for 14 and a half years at that point, and I was done. So after they left, I literally went and sat at my desk. I don't know what I did. I really don't remember what I did at that point, but I stayed quiet. The kids that were in that room, I'm surprised there wasn't a video of it out there on social media or whatever, literally asked me at some point, Miss, what are we going to do? I said, I don't care. I don't care what you do. And then they left. It was dead silent the rest of that class period. The rest of the day, too, I literally just sat at my desk, didn't give a fuck. I was like, the kids were like, we're going to do whatever. There's your assignment. Do whatever you want. I was done. I did not go talk to the principal the rest of that day. I did not go talk to him that Thursday. I didn't even bother to go Friday. I called in Friday morning because I was that pissed off, that upset, that done. So Monday morning, I did go talk to him. I was like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm still pissed off about this still. And after that, I just decided I'm done teaching. That was the one situation that I can literally pinpoint to what happened, and I quit, right? But I didn't quit right away. I finished the rest of the year. By the way, guys, that happened in September. Like, we'd only been in school for about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. And I'd already had at that point 3 kids recording on TikTok Live or Instagram Live or whatever it was in the middle of class, where I picked up the phone, because it's not like you can just give a warning in that case. And then the principals gave it right back to them. Like, literally, not even 30 minutes without the damn phones. So that, when it happened 2 times. That was the 3rd time that I just described. And so anyways, that whole situation, I'd had a conversation with one of the other principals at the school, like, what can I do? Because I just can't let that go, right? As far as, can I keep the phone locked up and give it back to them until I talk to a parent, a guardian, and then they can come pick it up for me at the end of the day? I had permission from another administrator that when the other situations had happened. Then just to have the other administrator come in and do it again, like days later, was fucked up. So anyways, that's really what made me be like, fuck this, I'm done, y'all. And I've been done. So anyways, it is what it is. And now I do this. So I teach people to pass the insurance exam. And let me just show y'all. Insuranceexamcourse.com. This is where to go to sign up. If you are like me, ready to quit your job, just frustrated, want something else, want to do something else, this is where to go and what to do. What do you get in my programs? It lays it out very clearly. But okay, this is for my one-on-one tutoring session. So for my one-on-one tutoring sessions, they are an hour long. I will provide the study material. I'm going to give you everything you need to study, my PDFs, my routines, the study strategies, all of that. Then you and I get on Zoom and we study and we go over questions and we go over whatever you need so we can pass that test. All right. So that is my one-on-one study sessions. What do my courses have? You get 2 options for my courses. For 60 days, you will be able to log into my Saturday and Wednesday night classes, my Saturday morning, Wednesday night Zoom classes. Those are group tutoring sessions. We study, we go over everything, and we do what we need to do to make sure we know what we need to know to pass the insurance exam. As a group, we study together. We go over your questions, we go over the topics, we go over the information, and we break everything down super detailed and down to the point. Then we do study and testing strategies as well. So what can you do to study better, to really remember the information, to really internalize it and know it? And then what do you need to do as far as in the testing center? There you go. I couldn't remember the word earlier. So testing center. When you're in there, what do you need to do to really remember, to really learn? I give you strategies to make it easier for you, because it is a timed test. So please know that. You're going to only have about an hour and a half. Take or give it about 10 minutes, depending on your state. So it could be an hour 20, an hour 15, or an hour 40, a little bit more than that. Just kind of know your time limits, all right? Every state's a little bit different. So anyways, what do you need to do in that testing center or at home to make this easier and faster and just a better experience overall? Um, and then, of course, you get your PDFs, your practice questions that we break down bit by bit, and everything else that you need to study for that insurance exam so you can go and you can pass it. Today, I had one person pass the test. She was so nervous, guys. Like, she was just worried. She canceled it. She scheduled and canceled it 3 different times before she went in and took it. She took it today. She passed it. Super excited and happy for her. It was her first time taking it, and she just got it out of the way, like first time. So perfect. Happy for her. Super excited for her. She will be selling health insurance because I help people with the life insurance and the health insurance. If you're doing one or the other, I help you out with that. If you're doing both, perfect. All right. So ask me about it. Ask me about taking the insurance exam. Ask me about anything that you want to take, that you want to do to go ahead and pass the exam. And that totally didn't make sense. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to end it with ask me about the insurance exam. Ask me how to pass it, how to study for it, all of that. Drop your questions in the comments. If you're ready to get started, go here, insuranceexamcourse.com, and go ahead and sign up. Reach out to me as soon as you sign up. You're going to get all of my contact info, my phone number, and all of that type of stuff is in there. You're going to be able to start studying right away. You'll get an email. You'll set up your password for your platform and all that. I need you to register for both of the weekly classes, the Wednesday and then, of course, the Saturday class, so that you can log on with us, study with us, and start studying and getting your insurance exam, preferably in 2 weeks. And then that's that, guys. So I'm going to leave it there. Ask me your questions, reach out, set up a free time to chat. I have links. I'll put it in the description, in the comments, all of that. And you can set up a 15-minute chat with me so we can go in detail over this, answer your questions, all of that. But I'm about to jump off, so I will see you all. Have a good night. It's already like 2 a.m. for me, so I'm going to go to sleep.